Terence Crawford, his upcoming fight will be on pay-per-view. Bob Arum says that Bud Crawford's next fight, major keys, major announcement, pay-per-view. We gonna talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let go. Bob Arum was on Barbershop Conversations, link in the description, and he stated that Terence Crawford, his fight will be announced, and it's pretty imminent. This is what he says, quote, "There will be an announcement on Bud Crawford's next fight within a week. I can't reveal it now, but it'll be a major fight, a date and a place and everything, but I'm not at liberty to discuss it at this time." Right? He says no, he's not giving a date. This is a big deal. This is not any old fight. This is a big deal. It'll be announced next week, and all the details will be announced at that time. And he says it will be on pay-per-view. So, very interesting stuff. Terence Crawford has been looking for a big fight, and according to Bob Arum, he's getting one. Some people are speculating that it's Pacquiao. I want to fight Bud Crawford I believe he's going to fight me. Some people believe it's going to be Showtime, Sean Porter. Some people have even guessed Keith Thurman. I definitely don't think it's Errol Spence Jr. I think Errol Spence and Ugas will likely fight for that third belt. So, we'll see. We'll see what Sir Bob Arum and Terence Crawford have cooked up. Now, I hope for Crawford, for his branding and stuff, I hope it's the type of fight that he's been clamoring for, because Terence Crawford has said, as far as Errol Spence, I know it's not going to be Errol Spence, because, you listen to recent interviews from Terence Crawford. He said, don't ask me about Errol Spence. I'm done talking about it. That chapter is closed. It's history, finito, finished. He's saying these types of things in interviews. So we know it's not going to be Errol Spence. That leaves a couple other guys. We'll see. For me, I don't want to even speculate. It could be whoever. We've heard this. We've heard Pacquiao in Qatar, and then it fell apart last minute, things like that. Crawford has also expressed interest in moving up in weight to 154. So ultimately, I don't know who it's going to be, but if Bob Arum is saying it should be announced within a week, then there's not too much longer to wait. But I hope it's a good fight. Been a fan of Crawford's fighting, and he's been trying to get the big fights, but we know the decisions and the processes, and it just hasn't worked out. And for, like I said, for Crawford's sake, the fans, I think, have reached a level of concern, or whatever you want to call it, where they want to see him. And it's weird, because I feel like Team Crawford might even take this negatively, but to a degree, it's almost a testament of you being a good fighter or a great fighter when people want to see you in other big fights. Because the guys, like, I'm not going to say no names, because, I don't want to disrespect but there's some guys in boxing that people have doubts and questions on their skill set or how far they can go in the sport of boxing. And you don't see people typically leaning into those people and demanding some of the bigger fights unless they're doing a lot of talking. But usually when you see all the names and people want to see Crawford versus Porter, Crawford versus Thurman, Crawford versus Spence, Crawford versus Pacquiao, or whoever, is generally because they believe Crawford has good skills, and they need to see him against something and someone better than what he's been getting. Like, it's not even that he fought bad fighters, but you would have to be joking and kidding yourself if you really suggest that Amir Khan, the year and the time in which Crawford fought him, if you really felt that was a prime Amir Khan. In fact, Amir Khan just did an interview talking about Kell Brook recently, and he says, I have to be honest, me and Kell Brook are both past our best. So he and it had nothing to do with Crawford, but he himself admits that he's not the same fighter he once was. So for any other fan to try to rebuke what I'm saying, it just doesn't make sense. He had really 2 fights in between getting knocked out from Canelo Alvarez, which was a brutal flush one-punch knockout, right? And then he goes back down in weight and fights Crawford. Same thing with Kell Brook. Kell Brook, he got the first sign of danger. Look at how he fought and how he folded. You know, you can't tell me that Keith Thurman is gonna necessarily respond like that. You know, and if he does, that's just a testament to how good Crawford is. But we just seen Crawford just dispatch of Kell Brook in 4 rounds, and then Pacquiao came back in round 1 because I thought Keith Thurman was winning the round, and then he lost the round because he got dropped. But then after being pummeled with vicious shots by Pacquiao, Keith Thurman actually did well for himself and started winning the second half of the fight. So, you know, it's boxing can play these games, but we know who's a game opponent and who showed up really trying to win. Canelo versus Average Pilgrim. I mean, just look at how the fight. Everything that I feared it was going to be, that I told you it was going to be, that's what it was. A guy off a 2-year layoff. Same thing with Kell Brook. That's Crawford's very last fight. So every fear people had about Kell Brook's eyes and can he take a punch and can he make the weight? Is he the same fighter that he was in 2017 and before? Those fears were realized when the actual fight came, because he was doing okay. It was kind of slow paced, but as soon as in round 3 Crawford opened up, it was like murder she wrote, and then he finished Kell Brook off in 4 rounds, and he looked like, you know what I'm saying, like he had PTSD or something. He looked shell shocked in that 4th round, and no counter punches, no clinching, just he looked like, you know, almost like punching somebody who's never fought a day in their life at a store and they just, you know, cur up. So it is what it is. I can't wait to see what this announcement is. According to Bob Arum, it's a big one and it's a big fight. So we'll see. We'll see what they have in store, what they cooked up. Hopefully, like I said, for Crawford, it is a big and desired fight. I think Porter is a great fight. He's a mandatory. He's rugged. It's a barometer test. You know, he says, or through his team says they could stop Sean Porter. So I like that option. And, you know, if he gets Pacquiao, the only downside is the way Crawford has handled the business and his team. Even if he gets Pacquiao don't have no belt. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been a unification, but even if he got the Pacquiao fight now, it's not worth the title since Pacquiao just got stripped. But still a legend. Let me know what you guys think. Who you think is going to be. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also, use my link to get TUBEBUDDY. It's a great browser extension and tool to help your YouTube channel and to level you up. I use it on the daily when I'm putting out videos like this. Make sure you click that link, sign up for TUBEBUDDY. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.